Hello everyone, this is Advocate Hasrat Sandhu, Legal Associate at NRI Legal Services. In this video today, I will discuss the important information regarding the forcible dispossession of private property. Land and abandoned houses in India are most vulnerable to enroachment. Land in India is usually purchased for investment and left unattended, which is why it has become an easier target. In addition, houses with older residents without direct support or NRIs are prone to become soft targets. Land and property enroachment is the unlawful entering upon the property or the rights of another person without his or her permission. Trespass in land occurs when a person undeviatingly intrudes on another person's property without consent and settles upon the land. So, how do people acquire illegal possession of private property? There are various ways of illegal possession. Firstly, when some random people falsify documents and illegally occupy the property of another person by the use of force, and even local authorities sometimes assist these people in such illegal practices. Secondly, such illegal possession can also happen when a tenant refuses to vacate your premises. These situations primarily arise when illegally occupied properties are left unsupervised by the people, the caretakers, the tenant, or properties that have been lying abandoned for years, directly making them an easier target for such notorious people. Thirdly, adverse possession is when the rightful owner of the property loses his rights of ownership resulting from inaction to get rid of a trespasser or occupant within a statutory period under the Indian law. After the completion of the statutory period for removing the trespasser or occupant, the rightful owner is restricted from initiating any legal proceedings to gain back the possession of his property, and thus this allows the trespasser to acquire the title of the property by adverse possession. This video especially draws the attention of NRIs to the fact that ownership without possession is meaningless. Illegal possession and trespassing cases are most common when it comes to NRIs. The reasons for these are: number one, they don't reside in these properties and don't have the possession of the property at all times. Number two, they cannot make frequent visits, so they give the control of the property to friends, acquaintances, and even relatives. Number three, apart from this, with time, many occupants, relatives, and friends feel that they own the place since there is no one to monitor and supervise the property. Number four, oral and unregistered agreements with tenants and caretakers are common in resulting the illegal possession. Number 5. Properties without caretakers and tenants not frequently visited by the owners are a great catch for land mafia to trespass and occupy illegally. So, how to protect your land from trespassing and enroachment? The primary rule to follow would be to have all the essential documents regarding the property to prove the owner's legal rights. Documents such as title deeds, revenue records, mutations, the copy of the wills, electricity bills and telephone bills, original purchase agreements, and even sale deeds, etc. help establish the owner's right. If the title deed is missing from your custody, either because it is untraceable or lost, then one must immediately lodge a formal police complaint. The next best thing to do is issue a notice in at least 2 major local newspapers about the ownership rights of that property. Later, one should obtain the certified copies of all such records from the concerned registration authority or even the revenue offices in India. Another important thing is to pay all outgoings and liabilities like municipality, panchayat, property tax to the authorities on time. One must also be in touch with the neighbors so that they may be able to report if they notice any kind of activity in the property. One should also check on the property via friends or relatives so that the trespassers and enroachers know that the property is not a soft target. Law and other remedies. The best way to regain control and restore the possession of your property legally is to go to the court and ask for justice. Civil court remedies are readily available where the competent and chosen lawyers can control and personally appear if it is required in the court. In addition, legal remedies are available under the law to restore the possession of properties and even protect any third party trespassing or illegal interference with the peaceful possession. Apart from the legal remedies, there are certain other remedies for prevention of trespassing and enroachment. Number 1. Prevention is better than cure. You should create valid caretaker contracts and prepare well-defined tenancy contracts. In simple terms, you must always define the status and duty of the occupant possessing the property. It would be best if you did not let any person retain the possession of your house for a very long period of time. Also, it would help if you keep changing occupancy in the property to not let it illegally dispossessed. Number 2. Police complaint. A person who realizes trespassing or illegal dispossession has taken place can file a written complaint with the police against it. A written complaint can be sent to the SP of the police of that particular district where the property is situated. In case the superintendent of police fails to acknowledge the complaint, a person can go to the concerned court and file a case through an advocate. The case can then be followed through a special power of attorney when the person cannot make his presence in the court himself. Number 3. Keep changing tenants. Given this legal limitation, it becomes essential for a landlord to change the tenants from time to time. This is also why most landlords provide their homes for rent only for a period of 11 months and subsequently renew the rent agreement if they are comfortable with the prolonging stay of the existing tenant. Number 4. Get a boundary wall constructed. The construction of a boundary wall is the first thing one must do in case of plots and land parcels. This has to be done irrespective whether the owner lives close to the location or not. Ideally, a housing unit must also be constructed to minimize the scope of interference from land sharks. Those living far from the area must put somebody in charge to regularly visit the property to ensure it remains free from any kind of illegal activities. While it may not always be viable, hiring a caretaker would also be a good way to avoid the unlawful occupation. This is especially true for the non-resident Indians living abroad. To sum up this video, I would like to refer to a Supreme Court judgment that deals with the topic in hand. The Supreme Court has reiterated that forcible dispossession of a person's private property without following the due process of law violates the human and constitutional rights. In a recent judgment by a bench led by Justice S.K. Kaul, the court stressed, quoting from its judgments, that property right is both a human and a constitutional right, the latter under Article 300A of the Constitution of India. Thus, forcible dispossession attracts a lot of legal complications which may result against the interest of the valid owner of the property. Due process of law always has to be followed to ensure possession is taken from the illegal possessor in a just and a proper manner. Don't forget to like, comment and share this video. Do subscribe our channel if you want more informative videos. If you have any queries, you can email us at query@nrilegalservices.com. Thank you.